The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
All right. Give me another one of those. Lemon heads.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on in your room here,
Yeah.
but the temperature has made them melted,
Well,
and I think it's my new way to go.
They're
so
really good.
we did an episode a few months ago. We mentioned lemon heads. We had a very, very lovely listener in South America send this massive tub of lemon heads. And then you also brought that box, Heidi. Show those to the camera.
Oh, so these aren't the South American ones?
No, these are the American
Okay.
ones.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
These
the
are
American.
from CVS.
Yeah. And so this is lemon head heavy, but that whole box, it is like one large lemon head in there.
I have a lemon head story.
You do.
The band?
No. Fuck them. Fuck them. No, fuck
Boston band, you know.
them. Yeah,
Pretty cool.
exactly. Fuck them. Doubly fuck them now.
Be a baby about it.
All right. When I was a kid, I was in first grade.
Likely story.
And I was in my house, and I was pulling on some towel rack that was like a rack like this that was on the door, the side door of our house. And it was like a wire. It was like a big braided wire, right? And it used to hang out from one side. Like there were two holes right here. So it'd always be off. Like one would come out or this side. So I was like going to try and fix it for my mom.
In the first grade.
Todd the
First grade.
handyman?
Yeah, I was going to be the handyman to fix it.
Because your dad was busy doing other
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So I pulled on it to get it off, and I fell backwards. And there's a door here. Here's the towel rack. And then there's a room here, and there's a wall here. It's a brick wall. And I smacked my head on the corner of the brick wall. And immediately, blood like gushing out of my head. I had to get stitches and everything. We come home from the hospital, which, by the way, I thought was the coolest thing in the world.
Sure, fair. Yeah.
In fact, my father took me to the hospital, and the doctor came in, and I had the sheets. They had shaved the little part where they're going to give me stitches. The doctor comes in, and he's like, "Did you guys put him under?" And I could hear everything he's saying. And my father's like, "Nah, what are you fucking kidding me? This is the greatest moment of his life. He can't wait to tell his friends, you know, like, because I was going to get stitches."
And he's kind of right.
Yeah,
of course. He's kind of
I
right.
was stoked to get stitches. We come home, and there's like in the kitchen on the floor, one of those old 70s linoleum floors with patterns
With
all over
the
it.
corners curling up on one of them,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
Yellowish.
Yeah.
Sort of.
There's fucking a pool of blood like the size of this desk. And there's one lemon head half melted right in the middle because I was eating a lemon head when I was pulling on the thing. And I remember I didn't remember it at the time, but right when we got back to the house, I remembered it went down my throat when I smacked my head and I went,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and spit it and didn't know what happened to it. And it was right dead center. And there was a little yellowish, reddish.
Where it kind of like
pool
melted out a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
every
every
time-
time I eat lemon heads, I think of that.
I love that. That's a good story.
That's cool.
Before we get a little business to get to, we want to thank. We have no new patrons this month, but we had 2 upgrades, Heidi.
Ooh.
2 upgrades. So I want to thank.
And how many drop-offs?
Don't ask. We're still in the green.
Okay.
We're still making more than last month, but man.
I don't make anything.
No, you don't, because you fucking bailed right when it started. Dude, you could have had a new turkey sandwich by
A
now.
new box of lemon heads.
Yes, exactly. I want to thank Christina for going from $10 to $20 a month, which gives her video upgrades to the bonus episodes and things. Thank you.
Woo!
And then Laura Lee, just out of the kindness of her heart, went from 20 to 25 a month ago. Now she went from 25 to 30. No extra benefits, just to be kind. So
Wow. Laura Lee.
thank you for that. Also, this is we're calling this one episode 171. Our last episode was 148. We're going to 171.
Why?
I've been getting very confused because we have the bonus episodes on Patreon. So it's hard to keep track of like 18, 19 bonus episodes and then the regular show. So now we're just going to go chronologically. So it's easier for me.
Nice.
Okay? Do you understand?
So
totally
basically,
do.
because you're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Everybody else
Is that
has
okay?
to suffer.
Yeah. It's called taking a shortcut. Heidi, how are you today? You came in a little
I come in a little hot sometimes.
little harumph.
Well, I had an issue on the 101, and then my makeup. The girl at Sephora, for those girls that listen, know that when you go to Sephora,
Isn't that a name drop? Sephora.
Oh, it might be.
Heidi's name drop.
Todd's learning.
She isn't afraid to drop those names. Kinda lame.
it's a catchy song.
It's fucking great.
It's so good. Like,
Yeah.
It really is.
He sent some new ones.
Oh, really?
That's what I want to play for you later.
Oh my god. So
Good one, Todd.
women that are listening, or men that wear makeup, when you go into Sephora,
Women and men.
Yeah.
women and men.
Heidi's name drop.
Okay.
Oh, I hate that. It was so bad. Oh. When you go into Sephora, the lighting in there is awful.
Tell me about it, girl.
Like, awful. And so I was on my way here, and I put my face makeup on my hand, and I'm driving, and I looked at my hand, and it was all like brown, and that's what's on my face.
You sure it's not poop? Did you wipe bad?
No. So
They gave
fucked me
They
up.
gave her asshole makeup instead.
You don't look brown today, though.
The sun I do, but anyhow, so I was a little like I was on the Anyhow.
Okay. You gonna be able to get through the
But
show?
you know what's? I'm just dealing with like things like this because the stress of the week has made me like I'm just finding little things to
Oh, why? What's going on this
worry
week?
about.
Yeah, we let's save that for the end of the show if we want to get into it a little bit.
Sure.
It's all I've been thinking about, and had a long talk with Todd before the show. But we'll close the show with it.
Yeah, because it's the new stuff that's coming out and
We'll save it.
Yeah,
we'll end the
okay,
show
okay.
on the on
But I
that
have
horrible stuff.
Can I talk about somebody that's famous on here that?
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't like. I mean, I doubt he'll listen to it. So
We're ready
let's see.
whenever you are.
I was
So-
just gonna say.
I waited on
Yep.
Benny Medina.
Where's the famous person? Who the fuck is that?
Benny Medina is
Todd, does it deserve a name drop?
oh
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Heidi's name drop.
Okay, people are sick of this song.
She isn't.
Okay, so I just learned this that he's actually what Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is like. He is the guy that it's about. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Benny Medina?
Yeah. So he started off.
Hey, Benny Medina.
He was born in East LA.
He's got a brother named Funky Cold.
It's pretty good.
That's a good one.
This guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he started off.
Sammy Sosa? All right, anyway.
He started off really, really poor. His parents, I think they both died, or one of them, he was all alone. So he was in like the foster care thing. And then he went to school, got really good grades, and befriended a really wealthy kid in Beverly Hills. And that's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was the
The
creator of that. It's
Okay.
it's his story. But he did that, and then he is the one who sort of started with J-Lo, and he's her manager. So that's what he's famous for,
Okay.
is that. So he came into the restaurant, and I didn't want to say that I wait tables, but that's what I
We
do
have
right
before,
now.
and it's
Yeah.
okay. Hey,
Whatever.
you have a job.
Yeah.
That's more than most people in LA
Yeah,
can
and
say.
it's a pretty cool
Myself
place that
included.
I work at. So nobody wanted to. I feel like I don't want to say anything bad in case I like start to work.
Well,
for
think
him.
about how you want to work.
Like, what if he offers me a job? He actually gave me his phone number, so now I feel really. No, maybe I shouldn't.
Want to call him direct and air it out on the show?
No, I do want to talk about so he had a party of 4, and they were talking about tequila and what tequila they were gonna get. In my head, I'm like, I don't fucking care what tequila you fucking get. says, like, children have just died. Like, who the fuck cares what Blanco, Reposado, like all that shit. So he orders a Reposado. His guest orders a Blanco. And he said, you know what? No. I'm going to do a Blanco. Okay. So I go and I bring it out and he goes, what is this? This is not a Reposado. And I go, no, well, you wanted to change it up and you ordered the Blanco. And he goes, oh, is this the so-and-so brand? And we didn't, I said, no, we didn't have that one, but I brought you my favorite.
That's nice. Yeah.
And he looked at me and he goes, so you lied to me just now.
Oh, God.
And then you made an executive decision to bring me out something that I didn't even ask for. And the old me would have stood there and started to cry, run off, been like, I can't take this table. And inside I'm like, fuck you. And I go, well, I didn't lie. I just explained to you what it was.
Benny.
And I made the executive decision because I'm a huge tequila fan, and this is my favorite, and I will bet you'll love it. And he looked at me, and he grabbed my hand, and he winked at me, and he goes, good answer.
Okay.
But so I was like, he
Still a little
tested
gross
me.
at the end, yes.
He was
And you
so
won,
he
but
tested me the whole night, though. And then at the very end, he gave me a hug and his phone number and said, if you need anything, I mean, he's a gay man. It's not like, and he's openly gay.
You guys serve gays there?
The best part of this whole story is I saw him at the gym this morning.
Oh, you did?
Are you really? Are you serious?
That's really funny.
But so then I talked to my friend, one of my best friends, and she said that when she was a kid out here, I forget, it's a story where she went to his house for a party, and she stole his bath towels, his weed, a cufflink, and then as they were leaving the house, she hit his grandmother's car, or his great-grandmother's car.
Your friend sounds pretty cool.
Well, it's somebody that we know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is?
It's,
Who?
Oh. Can you
Outer.
text us right now? Text us. Group chat us.
I don't have my phone with me.
Do I know?
But it's
or
one of
just
my best
Dan?
friends.
Okay.
It's somebody that that I talk about.
Is it
She's.
is it this person? Let me text you.
I don't have my phone on me.
Oh yeah. Is it that person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And I was like, thank God.
So am I the only person in this room
No.
that doesn't have like a close personal relationship with Benny Medina?
I've never talked to him. I just know who he is, and I saw him this morning.
Okay.
That's so weird.
I've never said two words
Isn't
to him.
that weird?
That's very
Yeah.
weird that you brought that up today.
That's really weird. And but at the very end, he hugged me. He said, thank you so much. So people like that, I feel like they like test people. Like,
It's power trippy stuff.
Yeah,
which is
like,
which
what was
the
she
city
gonna
is
do?
very good at. Right.
you lied
It's
to
also
me?
for his own enjoyment or to like show off in front of his guests or something.
I guess, and even his guests, as they left, he wasn't there, and they looked at me and go, and they just said, "Thank you so much for being a good sport." And I was like, "What am I, 12?"
Then he must be. If his friend
He's a
said
dick
that
to everybody.
Yeah, that they know
he's
the kind of guy
renownedly
he
known
is.
for not being.
Do you guys
a
have those
nice
friends
human
that you
being.
consistently have to like sort of apologize for, or you ever dated a girl?
I think I'm that friend.
Are you? Listen, guys.
No, and I'm
Todd's
being-
coming, but like, don't worry.
I'm being
he's
dead
harmless.
serious. Like I'm, my wife and friends of mine. Like, let me just apologize in advance for him. Like, yeah.
Are you proud of that, or do you hate that that's the
Fuck
thing?
yeah, I'm
you
proud
like
of
it.
that.
You mean like out when you go out to dinner and stuff, or like?
Out or with other people that we're just meeting or whatever. Because when I meet someone new, I usually push to test, see how far I could go.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy my first meeting of you. It was fine.
What did I do something?
No, we
specifically?
met at it was a Panic Channel thing, 2004 or 5 or something, and I didn't know Dave that well at that point, but you were
Right.
with Dave, but you just have a very judgmental disposition of like, it's this thing. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm a fucking prick.
And like, I'm 30 yards from you. I'm like, New Yorker,
Yeah.
obviously.
Funny, I remember it was.
Yeah.
Yes. Was it at the El Rey?
I think it was at the El
All
Rey.
right, so I remember the first time I saw you too, like just saw you physically.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's that fucking douchebag today? He's like, oh, this guy teching Steve's friend, whatever. And I go, guaranteed he's a Dropkick Murphys fan, just based
You
on your
did say
looks.
that, yes. And you later asked, and I confirmed.
Yeah.
I am. Because I had the scally cap and the...
But I also like, that's one thing, like just being this guy, dicky guy, you know? But like conversationally, I'll say stuff you're not supposed to say.
Yeah, sure.
Purposely.
Which is also why we all bonded like that.
The reaction that I get, I could tell in 2 seconds if this person's even worth my time continuing talking or not, or if they get it, but they're not, you know, they don't like it. You know, like I can tell their whole fucking story if I just throw some shit out there. So yes, friends of mine and relatives of mine have felt the need to apologize for me either right after or preemptively strike with an apology. But every waiter we have, like, I fuck with them purposely.
Sure. But
But I tip well.
But you also, you're a respectful patron. You know,
Yeah,
you're
I'm not a dick
out of
like
the gate.
that. No.
Not
Yeah,
like some people we know.
No, I make jokes. It's not like with a waiter or whatever. Like I'll kid around.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not a dick on purpose. But
I was a dick the other day
To a server?
Nope. To TSA, a whole row of TSA agents. So recently, do you guys have pre-check, TSA pre-check?
No, I wish.
Best thing in the world. It's like one of the best things you could ever do for yourself.
I have global entry, TSA pre-check. I have all of
It's
it.
How do you
worth
get
it.
it?
You just go to the airport, or you can go to Burbank, you can go to Hollywood, and like just you make an appointment. Takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You pay $80, and you're good for like 6 years or 4 years, whatever it is.
Oh, wow. I'm going to do that.
It's worth it for one flight. So you go in there, you go through the quick line. You don't take your shoes or your belt off. You don't take laptops out of your bag. It's like old school flying. You're paying to go back in time. So I was at LAX going to Florida for that Porno for Pyro show, and I'm pre-check. And I get to for some reason, they're funneling everybody through the same line, which that's the point of a pre-check line.
Yeah.
And like, you take your shoes off and take your laptop out. I'm like, I'm pre-check. Like, well, where's your pass? Like, my pass, it's on my
On your ticket. Yeah.
ticket.
It should say TSA.
It is. It does.
Yeah.
He goes, no. Back up, please. You know, someone should have given you this laminated green like star arrow thing. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm pre-check. Sorry, sir. You need to take your shoes off and take your laptop out of your bag. So I was like, what is going on here? I said, this is fucking dumb. And then everyone's like,
Right.
and
Was this here or in
this is in
Florida?
LA. This is in LA. This is going to Florida, and I'm going through the machine, and the guy who's sending me through the machine is like, "Are you pre-check?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Okay," and he hesitated. I'm like, "Why am I taking my shoes off? Why am I doing this if I'm pre-check?" And he goes, "I don't know what we're doing." I was like, "Thank you." Like, I'm so happy he didn't give me the attitude of like, "Sir, please." But I was like, "What's going on here today?" He goes, "They're doing something different. I don't know I don't know what we're doing." And I said, "Okay, I'm sorry. I appreciate it."
But
and then
that's
when I
all
got
you
through,
need.
that's it.
Yeah.
That
That's
made
all
me
you
feel better.
need.
Yeah.
Just say like, "I don't really know."
It's the 40 other fucking jerk. I was like, sir, like.
And then when I came
just
through,
shut the fuck up.
when they came through, I'm trying to gather my stuff from the belt, and they're like, "Can you move it along?" And I was like, "You guys are out of your fucking minds today."
Yeah.
And I had to walk away.
It's like a
I was
mall
going to be on the
cop, like
no-fly
a row of mall
That's
cops.
what it felt
that are
like.
Sir, stop.
But you're right. The acknowledgement of like, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
things are fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, why weren't you like this on 9/11?
Thank
asshole?
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now you're gonna be like that.
Yep.
You know.
Exactly right. So angry. But Florida was crazy.
I have wait. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go-
no.
no.
I didn't mean to ruin
it's
your
fine.
segue.
No, it's fine.
But I have a good little
Is it-
TSA thing.
Say it.
Just so when I went to go get my global entry,
Yeah.
I was already TSA.
That's
I
the
was
one.
getting-
It's TSA pre-check for international.
international, right? So I'm waiting at the I having an appointment, and I hear this fucking guy like, "Nah, fuck that," blah blah blah. Like, and I'm just like, ooh, like I love when it's not me, you know. Someone's just irate,
And you can kind of like,
and I'm
Who is
like,
it?
I kind of recognize the voice. I turn around, and it's Bill Burr and his wife.
oh,
my
amazing.
and
Mia.
like, and yeah, and I like you know him better than I do.
Yeah,
He's
a
been
little
on
bit,
our
yeah.
show.
Yep.
I've seen him at the some of the music
events,
things. I
yeah.
talked to him, whatever. But he was so irate. I wasn't gonna. Hey, Todd, remember me, the guy from Dark Matter? You know, Dave and
Fucking
Dan.
my face phone. I'm trying to talk to TSA right
I
now.
was not doing that. He was livid about something going on.
And he's so pale that when he gets upset, the red really comes. It's like,
It
this
looks
looks like
that.
Bill Burr.
Yeah. I didn't know you had a poster of Bill Burr right there. But so that's just a fun memory
That's good.
for me. But I haven't seen him again since
It's been a long time.
to say, hey man,
Nice
do
show at
you
LAX.
remember that time you were at LAX and you were flipping out?
Do you know what
about
the issue
something?
was?
I don't know.
That's fucking.
But
funny.
he was waiting for the office too, like. You know, give me my fucking card and let me get the fuck out, like that kind of thing.
I love it so much. Yeah, so I went to this Welcome to Rockville concert festival in Florida. James was supposed to play. Porno for Pyros did play. But this is a festival that usually happens in November that for some reason was moved to May, which is rainy season in Orlando, Daytona area. And the first night, I think it was Friday, they canceled all of the
All
headliners.
the shows, I know, I heard about it.
So like after 5 o'clock, which is like all the shitty bands, no
All the
offense,
bands,
but
it's
like
fine, yeah.
if you're a small font band, no one cares.
Yeah.
And like all the good stuff starts around 6 o'clock. Weather came in, downpoured. There's lightning.
That's a great band name, Large Font.
Large font. That's good. That's good. Be sure to tell them large font sent you. So they canceled. Who the fuck ends? Like Ministry played 4 songs and they were cut, and I think they were the last band of the day.
Yeah.
And then Korn didn't play. There was like four
Like
huge bands
Megadeth,
played.
Guns N' Roses.
Megadeth couldn't even get there.
Yeah. Allison or Jerry.
Jerry was cut
Cantrell,
2 songs into his set. The next night was GNR, and we flew in that day. And Steve Truitt and me and one
That's
of the guys.
Guns N' Roses for people who
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
the
There you
band
go.
Yeah,
personally.
for you whippersnappers. So we were driving through the storm because we wanted to go see GNR. They canceled that.
That's Guns
And,
N' Roses for the little people.
Yeah, for the
so much.
whippersnappers.
Thank you.
I'll say it full name from now on.
I want you to
Guns and
say-
R. Guns and
I
R.
want you to say GNR so I can keep doing that.
So we're going to see GNR.
That's Guns N' Roses for all you little people.
And that was canceled. But this festival is offering no refunds, no nothing. Like, it is what it is. So, like, people probably came from all over the country to go to,
Well,
like,
that sucks.
Daytona. It's on the Daytona racetrack. Like, I saw where Dale Earnhardt crashed. It's kind of, I'm not a NASCAR guy, but it was kind of neat historically to be there.
It's kind of fun to see where one of those
Yeah.
rednecks died.
Yeah. So, well, they're right there. One less. Not too bad. And
Yeah, I'm like, didn't he die?
he did. He hit the wall going quite fast. GNR.
That's Guns
GNR.
N' Roses.
Yeah.
Nice.
Little people.
But I would just be irate as a fan to like
Yeah.
travel and like, oh, no Megadeth, no Korn.
I can't believe there wasn't some rioting situation.
If it wasn't such shitty weather, there probably would have been. And people are camping out and like, it looked like Fire Festival 2022, just like mud inside
Yeah,
tents and tents that have fallen down and trucks and mud
you
people.
imagine?
kind of makes a better story than if it was just a good concert.
Kind of. I guess. For people
Did you
working
get
there.
paid still?
Oh, yeah.
Then it was good.
Yeah. Well, the only people, it's funny, like all the crews get paid, the bands have insurance. The only people that get royally fucked
It was the fans.
are the fans.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Nice job, Rockville. But we played and it was awesome.
Who's camping out at these things?
I don't know who
I
does
just
that.
wanna know,
I don't
like,
know who
that's-
goes to weekend-long festivals. I can't imagine a worse.
Sounds exhausting.
When you
and
did
gross.
your community service on the side of the road, I would rather do that for one day than go to a 4-day music festival.
Yeah.
Hold up. What?
Do you have the picture available?
I don't. You have it, I think.
I don't think I still have
You
it.
did community
I have it in my
service?
computer.
Tell her the story quickly. Wait, take your time.
So I had to do. No, it wasn't community service. It was. I'll get to that. Okay. It was the first day I was dropping my son off at
I wish I had the fucking
nursery
picture.
school. You know, like preschool. And I was a fucking wreck because he was crying when I left. You know all that. So I'm smoking a cigarette in the car, and I drive like far. Like I'm like I have something else to do, and I'm like. The cigarette's been in my fingers like this for like 20 minutes. So it's pretty much out at this point. But I'm like, I'm in my head. I got this work thing. I got to do a meeting, and I'm thinking about my son, and da-da-da-da. So I'm not even thinking, and I just flick it out the window. Just the butt is in between my fingers. I just flick it. And I look in the rearview mirror right as I flick it, and there's a cop right
Is that
behind me.
illegal here? It is, right? Because of the
because it's
fire
so
and
dry.
stuff,
I mean, it's
So
littering
then-
anywhere, but
So then I look down the street. Now I'm on Wilshire. If you don't live in Los Angeles, Wilshire is a pretty big, busy street. There's a lot of light after light. And I look,
just look at the funny shit you sent me back.
and there's like a cop has someone pulled.
I'm sorry.
A cop has someone pulled over, like at every light. They're doing some sort of sweep thing.
Jesus.
So this cop comes out. He's a young kid, it seems, and like a rookie. And he's like, license and registration. And okay, here you go. Do you know what you did? I'm like, yeah, I fucking flicked that cigarette butt out the window. And he's like, his whole demeanor changes. He was like tough cop guy. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I flicked it out. He's like, I know, dude. I was right behind you. Like, I couldn't believe that you didn't see me. And I go, I tell him the story. Like, I just dropped my son off. This is his first day of preschool. He's like, man. He's like, I'd let you. I was like, it was out if that's any consolation, And he's like, I would let you go, but like my bosses are watching me. Like we're doing a sweep here. I'm like, I get it. And so I'll write a ticket, but I'll just put littering. I won't put that it was like burning ember because that's like a big ticket. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. And I leave and I go to court for the ticket. And there's like 400 fucking people there. Everyone is there for one of the traffic lights, the cameras. They ran a light at the camera. And
Fucking cameras.
yeah, and at this point, they're all making some excuse that the judge is letting them all off because there was like some big to do with the law at that time, and so I get up there, and like the judge says, littering, and there's like a hush over the whole court. Oh, like I fucking murdered someone, like. All these. I was literally the only person that wasn't there for a fucking photo ticket. Littering. Ooh, everybody's like, fuck. I'm like, fuck. So I talked to my lawyer before I went to court, and I said, "Is there anything I should say?" Like he's like, "Tell him that you are a sober member of 12-step programs." And that you do community service in that way if that's possible, which is true. Like
Give back to
go down to like one of the homeless
talk.
shelters and talk at a meeting. Yeah, sure. Clean up at the fucking at the Alano Club, whatever. So the judge says to me, she's like, "Oh, honey, that's community service. For littering, it's community labor. You're getting out there on the highway and cleaning up with a crew." I'm like, shit. So I get there and and this is not, I'm not making a racist statement here. I'm literally, this is factual. I'm the only white kid there, and it's all guys, Latino guys, African-American guys that are all there for like, they have like 18 months of community service. I only have 1 day.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, you know what? This is good for my character. Like I'm gonna really earnestly work. So
I'm gonna make the most of it.
I'm gonna make the most
Learn
of
from it.
and like, and do the work and whatever. And they have you like in hard hats and you gotta
see the picture. They gave him a
shovels on the high, and you're cleaning fucking hypodermic needles.
he had
and
like
condoms and
the
all.
highlighter yellow vest with the hard hat and goggles. It's the best picture.
And
I've
they
ever seen.
they tell you if we find your phone, you don't get credit for the day. If you pull out a phone or
Oh my
whatever, like, and you
God.
have to come back the next day. So I snuck my phone and I snuck into the outhouse that was there and took a picture and sent it to Dan. So I'm out there like fucking.
Do you have one of those things with like the sharp end of it? Those things you pick
Like a
up
hoe?
paper with?
No, they had those too. But my job that I was assigned was like, you have to dig all of these weeds and cans and needles and out of this area. So it's me and a couple other guys.
Where, on like the 101? Like the highway?
We went to a few different spots.
Oh my God.
So, and it's fucking middle of summer. It's sweltering heat. So I'm like doing my work.
And wait, did you show up in a van, like those vans that they have?
No, we were in an open-ended truck. And like they don't give a fuck. They're
The
just
chain
like,
gang.
yeah. They're like sit in the back.
Heidi,
There's no
I wish I had the
seatbelts.
picture.
Yeah.
The picture is so great.
I'm so obsessed
So
with this.
we get out the highway and I'm fucking
Oh,
sweating.
we-
Yeah, that's what it was like. That's what it was like. That was like so. And you got to get there at like fucking 4:30 in the morning at this place where they pick you up, and then. So. I'm like fucking working and sweating my ass off. And a couple of the other guys come, they're like, yo, motherfucker. Like they're surrounding me when the guy who's running the crew is like an ex-con. His shoulders are like out to here. And he's like pockmarked faced, like mean looking dude, right? And he turns his back and they're like, yo, fucking chill, motherfucker. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you're only here for a day is what they're saying. We're here for like a year in lieu of going to jail. Like, stop fucking working like that hard because it's making us look bad.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I got you. So I start talking a little bit to the guys and whatever. And they're like, and these guys are straight up teardrops on the eyes, you know, like the whole thing.
Killers.
Yeah. And they're like, what set you from? And I'm like, huh? Like, what set you from? They point to my tattoos. I'm like, dude, I'm from New York. Our tattoos don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And
I'm just a wannabe. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, in New York, our tattoos don't mean shit. And he's like, all right. So I was being friendly with the guys, whatever, and I heeded their advice and slowed down a little bit. Then I took the picture. I sent it to you. The whole day, like fucking 6:30, 7 o'clock, we pull back. This is after
6:30 at night?
Yeah,
They did a full day of labor.
Full day of
Holy
fucking
shit.
Like a 9 to
labor.
5.
Like I got dirt in my nose, in my ears, in my mouth. Like I'm sweating. My shirt's like I'm taking it off and throwing it away when
Do you
I
have
get home.
lunch? What do
They let
get
you break for lunch and like
Bologna sandwiches.
yeah,
and
it's
some
like
shit.
some
Oh,
gross
so they
thing.
give it to you? They have the
Yeah,
food
yeah,
there?
yeah. So
I don't know why I'm so interested in this.
Because it's great. Because you can't.
So
First of all, you
crazy.
can't imagine Todd like doing physical, dirty labor. You're such a
I
clean
can't imagine
person.
you
Yeah,
as, like,
yeah.
a-
so
I can barely imagine you getting crumbs on your shirt and not freaking out.
So I get back and everybody's getting out and they're leaving. And the guy looks at me and he grabs me and this fucking, the guy running the crew, the foreman, quote unquote. And he's like, yo, you straight, man? And I'm like, how do you mean?
Like, you want to suck this dick or
Yeah. Like, how do you mean? He's like, you got a job and shit. Like, he's actually looking out for it. He's like, I can tell you a good worker, you smart guy. Like, you got a job and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking flicked the cigarette out the window. Like, I have a life. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh, what do you do?
It's very kind of like, we live in different homes, but
I
thank
think
you.
this was on a Wednesday because I think I had to leave to
for Dark Matter.
For Dark Matter. I'm like, well, sorry, bud, I got to go because I got to get to work. He's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I do this radio show thing. And he's like, oh, hang on a second. I'm sitting in this guy's van, like.
Time's a ticking.
He comes back. He's like, he puts in a cassette tape. He's like, yo, this is he thinks it's a radio show where they're playing music. And he's like, and he's playing me the worst hip hop tape. It's his demo tape.
I forgot about this part.
Yeah, then I open up my phone like, I don't know, 30 minutes later and he's following me on Twitter. I'm like, which is one of the reasons
You
why
got
I
off Twitter?
don't.
Wow.
So yeah, it was quite the experience. But yeah,
And that guy, crazy enough, that guy,
don't litter is my
the guy, P. Diddy. Can
yeah.
you believe it?
He turned out to be P. Diddy. Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
amazing. Things
Lil
worked out.
Uzi Vert or whatever they're called.
One thing I forgot to tell you guys, that festival that we did, the porno show, Stephen Perkins is obviously in Porno for Pyros.
Yes.
So 2 or 3 days before we were supposed to leave, he was moving a cactus in his house, and the cactus tipped over and stuck into his left arm, and everything was fine. And his arm started swelling up to the point where like his fingers were like full hot dogs, and his wrist had this lump on it. Long story short, he didn't join us in Florida.
I saw the pictures. Well, he
It's
posted them. Yeah.
He did post them
Yeah,
finally.
yeah.
So the day before we leave, he decided like he can't travel. His doctor said you can't play drums, you can't travel. This is supposed to be the first show in 26 years for another important band that he started, and his drum tech, my friend Mike, played the whole set and killed it. It was amazing.
Wow.
And that's why if you're out there and you're in the music industry, learn the band songs because you never know when you might be called to do it.
Yeah.
And he killed it, but I felt so bad for Perk.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I bet
So
from
bad.
the flying, I bet you couldn't do it because of the
Pressure.
the-
Just,
Yeah,
pressure
you
on
can't fly.
Yeah.
it was a bummer.
Because if it's
but
like MRSA or something like that, it could kill you.
that might be
Yeah.
what it is, or possibly could you get that from cactuses or from?
Well, you can get it from any sort of blood like infection.
In MRSA, once they get it under control, you can't get another open wound for 2 years, or you
Or
get
what?
MRSA, or you get MRSA again, or it
Jesus
just comes
Christ.
back in, or
Is it
can quickly.
I think it's
The MRSA
contagious.
gets worse.
Yeah, dude.
Was that one of the guy's songs?
Yeah, the MRSA gets worse. GNR.
That's Guns N' Roses for all you little people.
Oh fuck. Speaking of whatever, have you guys seen the that documentary Our Father yet on Netflix?
No, I can't get into it. Is it good?
Have you tried?
No, I mean I meant like I just don't.
Do you know what it's about?
Raping children in the church?
No, it's the guy from the
Better. Much hotter.
Yeah.
It's a what the fuck are they called? Jesus Christ.
where you do
Fertility
IVF.
doctor. He's
Yeah,
a fertility
yeah.
doctor.
Oh, right.
And instead of putting the husband's loads in the wives, he puts his
putting his
own
own.
load in.
I just saw Law and Order about that.
You did? It might be about this guy. I mean, it was like
Can you imagine?
being the guy or the woman. I can imagine being the guy.
What? Oh no! But just imagine. Like,
No,
you
it's
have
so
a child,
fucking
it's
horrible.
not like it's his.
I don't want to spoil it, but like they get to a number of children that he has at the end, and like it's still ongoing.
Is this
Fucking staggering.
is this a brand new?
Yes.
Yeah,
Came out
it's
like a
on-
week and a
yeah.
half ago, 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
okay. Because I feel like maybe I just heard the story about this doctor before they made a documentary.
I think he's in
about
Ohio.
it. Yeah, because I definitely know about it, but I didn't know that they made a documentary about it.
But it calls into all kinds of like, is it rape? Like legally, is it rape? And it's like there's nothing on the books
No.
for like, but it should be. Don't
No,
you think?
well, no. Why?
No, it's not rape.
Well,
Rape is
women,
like a,
you don't know that you're getting a child from your doctor. Like you're supposed to, you pick the father that you want,
It's
Right.
fucked up.
or
but
you
that's-
bring in your husband's sperm.
Right.
It's like, in my mind, it is a weird form of. It's a massive violation.
it's a violation.
It's a massive
of,
violation.
But it's
But-
also it's a sexual violation because he goes and like jerks off in the office next to you right before he does it.
Right.
So there's a sexual connection to the act, which like, how else would you?
I don't know. It could be like an assault of some sort.
I
because
mean, I
assault
would
But
is
say-
sexual
not-
assault.
I would.
Yeah,
Kinda,
but
right?
Not rape.
Yeah, I don't think it's rape. I think rape implies
Like you-
intercourse,
Yeah.
forced
Yeah.
intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm kind of kind of okay with it.
What's his number again?
What's this?
It's just crazy.
It's like that guy. Do you remember this story? And, this isn't something that he did over and over, but there was a doctor who just lost his mind and did some surgery, and then carved his name after they carved his name into the patient's skin.
No.
Look it up when you don't
Like
have to do
an
it right now.
artist? Like a
yeah, like he
painter?
signed his work like Picasso.
Oh yeah, no, the guy that was on
Dr. Johnson.
It was a guy that was on the skates. Who was the guy who would roller skate and dance around? This was just recently, and he was a surgeon. And once the person would go out, he put on roller skates. Do you remember this? It just came out.
No,
and
but he
would
sounds
do
pretty
some
cool.
Weird fucking shit during
Just
their.
put doctor
I
that
did
carved.
I did Dr. Surgeon carving initials. A Manhattan obstetrician admits to carving his initials into the abdomen of a woman whose baby girl he had just delivered. Dr. Alan Zarkin, who had been dubbed
Easy.
Dr. Zorro, used a scalpel to carve 3 by 1.5 inch letters AZ.
Oh my god!
to me.
What a fucking maniac.
Awesome guy.
It's like that. Remember
What a
that Ink
fucking
Master?
Amazing, awesome.
Look at this. There it is. There's the fucking marks.
Oh, it's huge.
It's not even subtle.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
It looks like a branding, like he's part of a cult. Who would like that?
Oh my God. So he just lost it.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, I did that shit. Fuck yeah. Remember that Ink
He's
Master?
cousins with the guy who's shooting his own loads into the
That Ink Master guy, the tattoo artist that would put the when people would ask for a clock tattoo, he'd put the time he was born, the artist,
Oh, I didn't
like
know.
in all of his tattoos. Unless it was
yeah.
specified, he would put his
Right.
And
That's
I
kinda
think
cool.
Dave, well, kind of, except like who wants the artist's birth time on their thing?
What do you know? What time you were born?
11:35 a.m.
10:20 a.m. You?
Todd,
2:11 a.m.
we're all morning. Hey guys, put it together. Morning baby, what's up?
Oh, I don't
What's up?
My
GNR.
daughter was
GNR.
born.
GNR.
That's Guns N' Roses for you. Little
Oh, thank you.
My daughter was born on 10/17 at 10/17.
That's pretty sweet.
Whoa.
So it says that on her birth certificate. Yeah.
Was she 101.7 pounds? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
That's why
That's
she's
a big
so
baby.
cool. Wait, can I tell my Danny Loner story?
No.
Can I tell you this? You don't have to ask if you can tell stories. You can just tell them.
have another one.
We're having a conversation. You
They're
can
so-
just
they're
you can just
melted.
tell the stories.
Wow, the box got light since I've had one.
Oh,
I only had like 4 of them.
She did spill 6 of them on the floor though.
I caught one with my legs. Don't. No.
Had to.
So,
Heidi, will you please tell us the Danny Loner story?
yes, I will.
Thank you.
So,
Danny Loner, by the way, who is he?
he's the
A loner.
Danny Loner, Dottie.
keyboard player, right?
He played bass, guitar,
Bass.
guitar and bass for Nine Inch Nails in their peak, I would say, the Downward Spiral era.
Is he still in it?
No, he hasn't been in since 1996 or 7.
Really?
Yes. What's
So-
his name again?
Danny Loner.
Heidi's
Oh
name.
my God. So, I have another one. Chris Robinson from Black Rose.
Heidi's name.
Him and his wife come to the restaurant I work, and I love them.
Kate Hudson?
No, No, that was a long time ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not up on who everyone's
Following
married to.
Chris Robinson's life and career.
They're
My deepest apologies to the
Fucking-
Robinson family.
awesome. And I was telling him about my old band, and he talked about Anton LaVey, and I'm like, I actually had dinner with Anton LaVey, and he
This
gave
is
me a
Chris or
necklace.
Danny?
This is Chris.
Okay.
And so Chris was like, what's your band called again? And I'm like, the Electric Hellfire Club. So he wrote it down. He goes, I'm going to do some research. I'm like, well, no, I mean, it's like not like the best band, but. And so he came in the other night with a friend, and he said they went to a festival up north with Bauhaus was there and some other guys. And he said that he saw Danny.
Heidi's name drop.
That's for Todd Newman.
She isn't afraid to drop those names. It's kinda lame.
Woo! So he saw Danny, and they were talking. Oh my God. It was like a nightmare. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Now I'm drooling from my lemon head.
Heidi.
So he said he saw Danny, and he said, "Hey, do you remember the Electric Hellfire Club?" Don't do it.
Heidi's.
And Danny, thank God, because I always feel like I'm like, yo, I was in a band, and people are like, what the fuck is the Electric Hellfire Club? And Danny said it was one of my favorite bands to go see live.
That's nice to
Isn't
hear.
that nice? What a sweetheart.
That's
so I
nice
felt
to
good
hear.
about myself.
There's 3 embarrassing things to say you do in Hollywood. It's an actor, a musician, or that you have a podcast. Those are all very cringy things to say. And good job. Good job. Do you remember? Do you remember ever being there?
Oh yeah, because they were gonna have us on tour with them, and then
With
the
Nails?
Melvins, because Trent came to see our shows. If you please don't drop.
Trent, that's a drop.
That's all.
Trent.
That,
She didn't even call him Trent Reznor. She called him Trent as if she knows him personally.
so true. Heidi, I'm sorry. We're doing the whole thing too,
Heidi's name.
and we're muting us.
She isn't afraid to drop those names. It's kinda lame.
Actually, you get 2 of them.
Heidi's name drop. She isn't afraid to drop those names.
you done? I guess am I done?
We're done. Go ahead.
So
Did you say you had dinner with Anton LaVey?
yes.
That's the story we should talk about.
So
No name drops. I'm type.
So
Put them away.
Beats all
We
this
were-
other bullshit she's talking about.
we were on tour, and we were coming down like from Vancouver, whatever, and in San Francisco.
I almost did it for Vancouver. Sorry.
And he was a fan of the band because the lead singer was a member of the Church of Satan, along with Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr. was
Yeah.
part of it.
Oh yes, he was.
I didn't
Because it
know
was
that.
kind of like the cool thing to do in the '60s. Like it was like a new thing. I mean, look at the Eagles record. If you open it up, there's
Yeah.
Anton LaVey in the top of it.
It's I can't really talk about this, but I could talk to you after the show about this.
Yeah.
But it was like a thing when it was new, like, oh, these guys have fucking parties with naked chicks around and all that. That's why actors and musicians were into it.
Yeah,
It wasn't the messaging.
Right.
It was the hedonism part of it.
Sure.
yeah. It was,
So like, cause
Listen,
they used to
yeah.
have this black house in San Francisco, and they used to have parties like black masses, and it was like naked. In fact, Susan Atkins, who was a Manson girl, was one of the naked chicks at Anton LaVey parties
oh, I didn't know that.
before she made her
I
way
didn't
down
know
to LA.
that either.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, look at what's
There's
her name?
pictures of her at like naked at one of the parties.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, if you think about like the Church of Satan or like Christianity, one is way more fun than the other.
well, that's the whole like it's the Aleister Crowley. Do as one art will. What is that? Do as thou will. Do as.
You'll get there. Should we wrap this one up? Things are coming apart at the seams.
I don't know if I want to do this with her anymore.
Does she know where she is? Todd, put some. I think she's having a stroke. Put some rubber between her teeth. We don't want her to bite her. Actually, maybe we do want her to bite her tongue off because she is cracking up.
Having a nervous
Listen, Todd, while she's laughing, let's just you and I back out of here. Let her do the show by herself. She'll have no idea we're gone.
Anyhow, Aleister Crowley had.
I think she's the offspring of one of those
She must
doctors
be.
that
She
put all
has
the
to be. She has like dozens and dozens of brothers and sisters who are all just as crazy as she is.
Oh my god. Anyhow, there was a really good quote.
She's still
Basically
going.
about doing what you want and not having any guilt about it.
Yeah,
That was
that's,
the
starts
that's
with-
the whole philosophy
Yeah,
of
that's the theme of it.
the Church of Satan.
Yeah, yeah,
Basically, it's a religion that goes in line with how people naturally are.
yeah. So then he had us at his house with his wife, and he had just had a baby. I forget what year this was because he died in. I don't have my phone on with me. I don't remember when he died. Will you look it up?
Yeah.
You ask-
When did Aleister Crowley die?
Anton LaVey.
Anton LaVey. When did Anton LaVey die?
Anton LaVey died October 29th, 1997 at age 67 in San Francisco.
Yeah. So we.
Did you meet Tagar?
Yes.
Terry Tagar?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think.
Well, and then his son.
Tony Tagar?
Tagar was his pet lion.
Oh. Oh, Tagar, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean this was 94, 95. I mean it was like
How was
long
he?
time ago. Wonderful, and he loved me. He gave me a necklace. And
You still have
was-
it?
Yes, I
A
do.
pearl necklace.
Can I have it?
It's-
Oh, shit.
It's a pentagram, and it's this blue, like dark blue. It's porcelain. It's
That's a pretty cool
beautiful.
gift.
But like back then, I mean, I was just fellowshipped as a Jehovah's Witness, so everyone thought I worshipped the devil. So for me, it was very like, like.
Everyone thought, or still thinks.
But it was cool, and so
That's a good story.
I had told Chris that story, and he said, "You actually should do a podcast just about that necklace and about that."
And here we are.
And there we are.
We're doing it.
I thought. I mean, I think that back then I didn't know how cool it actually was. Not cool, but it was a very like.
Well, it's one of those things I feel like we're years later looking back upon reflection. It's like, that's cool that you're able to do something like that.
Yeah.
You don't realize it in the moment because it's just like, It's just happening now. There's no time to think about it.
Right.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Was that in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say? Okay.
Yep.
What are you doing, Todd?
Exactly. I
I'm
don't
trying
remember.
to find something.
I don't remember. And then
Just mind your fucking business.
Okay, I'm sorry.
his daughter wrote the Satanic Witch book, which is was after the Satanic.
What's his daughter's name?
Bible.
I've been getting messages from somebody about this particular thing.
Name starts with a Z, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was this orange book, and it actually was like before all the self-help, like law of attraction books. It was basically about that, like just attracting things in your life.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Satanism.
But back then
all.
it was a crazy thing because look at the Memphis 3. That's basically why they got like.
Well, when you get in the Bible Belt stuff, there's no acceptance of anything outside of like God, Jesus is good, and there's no bad in God's eye, or whatever.
Right.
But like the devil speaks to some people,
Listen, I didn't mean to say. Listen,
Listen here, y'all.
Listen, growing up a Jehovah's Witness, they talked about Satan all the time, and when I was just home, I told my dad and my mom this story that I remember once at a meeting, which is what Jehovah's Witnesses call the church. And I remember they had said, be careful what you talk about out loud because Satan is listening and he'll give you what you talk about. So be careful.
Is this in the Freedom Hall?
I'd
In
like
the Freedom
Satan
Hall?
to give me
The
$1
Kingdom
million.
Hall.
The Kingdom Hall.
Yeah,
That's
Kingdom
what
Hall.
it is.
So in the back seat of the car on the way home, I was probably like 8, and I just repeated out loud, like whispering, I want a Schwinn bike. I want a Schwinn. Dear Satan, I want a Schwinn bike. And I wanted a Schwinn bike.
That's really good.
And then my dad, he confessed that he did the same thing. Like he would say, like, Dear
And
Satan.
got a Schwinn bike.
There you go.
Her dad.
See, the devil delivers. God never listens to anything, never does anything for anybody.
No, it's
Selfish bastard.
God's a prick, and you can put that on record. What? It's true.
knock on wood.
Do you not believe that God is a prick?
No, I don't know.
If God is all powerful, don't you think he would have stopped some stuff that's been happening recently?
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
I think there's something, but
Should we do? We have a listener voicemail. You guys want to do it?
Yeah.
Great.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Rare Form Radio.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay. Here we go. Here.
Hi guys, Ian from the UK again. Couple of things. The new Darren is great. It's great to have someone there that's engaging in conversation and actually wants to be there. Secondly, I was fortunate enough to go and see Tool last week.
Tool.
And one of the things I like
Tool.
about Tool is that they do long songs. They played Tempest off their new album, which is about 15 minutes long. So what do you think of long songs?
long songs.
You just saw Metallica. They're known for some pretty long songs. Are you into that live?
Yeah, if it's a good song.
Yeah.
You know? There are long songs, and I'm like, they could have cut this into fucking 2 minutes, but the ones that I like that are long, I like them.
I mean, I work
You know
for a
what I
band
mean?
that has multiple songs that are over 8, 7, 8, 9 minutes. I dig it. Yeah.
Really?
Jane's Addiction has like a
guess I
few
don't
songs that are like
remember.
9 minutes long.
Yeah, 3 days is how long?
I think 9:30 something.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it, actually.
And Justice
They
for
could have
All.
cut that one down to a day.
I haven't looked yet. Injustice for All. Do you think this is a song under 6 minutes on Injustice for All?
No.
One, let's see. I don't know. I don't
check
think
times
so.
on it. Look, I'm here. Heidi, what do you think of long songs?
I've never really thought about
I think a long song is 7 minutes or over.
I think 6 is pretty long. 6 is
6
kind of
is
a long
long,
song.
but-
6 to 7 is when it definitely kicks into long territory.
And how long is Bohemian Rhapsody?
That's probably 8 minutes, right? I would think. Justice for All. 6:42, 9:45, 6:25, 7:26, 6:35. Okay, 5:45. Harvester of Sorrow. 7:43, 9:48, 5:13. That's a lot of long songs.
Jesus.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody. 5:55. That's not very long.
It's not that long. I mean, it was long for a radio song.
Oh, that's
back
true.
then.
Stairway was a pretty long one. 8 minutes.
Jesus
8
Christ.
minutes. And that was like unheard of for a radio song, but yeah. I'm into it.
There are some long songs that suck because they don't go anywhere. They're just the same kind of vibe throughout the whole thing. So I'm not down. But
Metallica has my favorite like B sections of any band ever. Of those like Fear of Living On, Natives Getting Restless, all those little those middle B
Sanitarium.
sections. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then No One But Me Can't Save Myself.
Fade to
but
Black.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shit. They have the best ones, the best B sections
Well,
of any band.
they were like they mastered the
Puppets.
They mastered that starting it as a ballad and then going into
Just blowing your brains out. Yeah. Yeah. What else we got? Anything else, guys?
And then they got shitty for a long
They
time.
did. Yeah, they really, really did. After the Black Album, I don't think I've enjoyed anything since.
Me neither.
Are you a Metallica person?
I was when I was like 16.
I love them. But yeah, after the Black Album, it's just like, what happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Newstead left.
And to me, it just sort of sounds all the same after that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, we should close out, but if we want to spend a couple minutes talking about
I would love to.
Texas.
I might have loved to, but
we're recording this on Friday, and this all happened on
Tuesday?
Yeah.
No, on Tuesday.
Tuesday, I think. The
What happened?
The mass murder, the kids, in Uvalde, Texas. 18-year-old kid bought 2 AR-15s on his 18th birthday and killed 19 kids so far, 2 teachers.
Did you see one of the teachers, her husband died of a heart attack the next day.
Due to grief. So I would put that death with the others in some ways.
They have 4 kids.
Yep.
And
every day that has gone by, we're hearing more about like details of what happened and the inaction. And what are your thoughts, Heidi? I know you and I recorded actually that day that our last Patreon episode, the Guilty Pleasure songs. We agreed to not talk about it before the show because we wouldn't be able to get. I mean, that was a terrible day, but we got through it. But I know that you have thoughts, so I'd like to hear what you think about all this.
I gotta look at the light real quick or I'll cry.
You can cry. It's also okay. I've cried 3 times about it. Just like, today we found out that the kids were calling 911 from the room, like saying like we're being shot. And there was 19 cops outside the fucking door who were told to stand down because they thought it was no longer an active shooter thing.
Well,
like
they have the little boy that I saw last night. They didn't show his face, but he said that he helped his friends in the next room hide behind the desk. And then the little girl that smeared blood all over her. I mean, smart like that. Like, but the fact that she's 9 and has to fucking do that is so fucked. But he said that
it's okay. It's okay. This is horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Sorry. He said that. Sorry.
I think I know what he said. If you want me to say it for you? When the guy came in the room, that thing?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Oh, the little girl that asked for help?
No, yeah, like they yelled out from the
police.
Window. The police did. If you need help, yell. And he was telling everybody to be quiet. She yelled and he shot her.
Yeah, 10-year-old girl yelled for help, and the shooter didn't know that she was there and went over and killed her. And we're hearing, I'm waiting for things to be confirmed, but we're hearing that like the first cops on the scene went in to get their own fucking kids out, and then
what?
They took their own kids out. The
cops went in. It affects me. I have a 9-year-old niece.
Yeah.
And for me, all I see is her.
Of course. I imagine you imagine your kids being in that situation.
Fucking
where this stuff happens.
imagine.
Of course.
The fact that I saw this one guy with this, he was a good old boy, like with his cowboy hat, and they went in and knocked in the window and started grabbing kids. A person that lived, not a cop. What the fuck is wrong?
Did you see the video of the parents yet?
No. I can't watch anything, but
there's a video of it's like a 7-minute long video of a couple dozen parents who were there being held back by 40 armed police officers, and the parents are screaming, shrieking, "Go help them!" And you can hear bullets happening, and they're holding the parents back, and one of the fathers says like to the other parents like, let's just rush in because these guys aren't doing it. And later that guy found out that his daughter was killed.
Oh,
so
God.
like, and one of the dads was trying to break through the barricade to go in. He was thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and pepper sprayed. So I saw some kind of post where like, imagine there's 19 kids drowning in a pool, and the lifeguard won't help, and the lifeguard also won't let you go save your own kid.
Yeah.
And I am a massive supporter of the police. I think everyone in this room is a pro police person, but it feels like there was a massive failure.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like Texas is the most heavily armed state in the fucking country. They're so proud of it. You see the cops that are holding the parents back. They're all completely armed, and they're waiting for SWAT team, waiting for Border Patrol. Uvalde has their own SWAT team, but it took an hour for the SWAT team to get there.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I was just also the grandmother who got shot in the face went across the street and called 911. Shouldn't that be enough? Like my grandson went in and with two AR.
I'm sure she called, but she probably didn't know he was going to a school. You know what I mean?
I thought she was outside the school. No,
I think she was shot at her house. Then he left,
okay.
and then
yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
okay. But I just saw on the news on my way here there was a clip. I heard a clip of the head of the captain or whatever, and he said there's clearly
the wrong decision.
Yes,
was made.
I mean, if that was me, there's no way I would be in there in a second.
But
you
wouldn't because they were holding people back. They were holding you back.
That's the thing is like,
fucked up, man.
You guys are so gung ho and gun crazy.
You're Texas.
Just this is your moment.
You've been waiting for this. This is what you've been voting for,
fighting for.
Yeah.
You're all fucking packing. Like just
There's kids being massacred. And then the same guy you're talking about, I believe, said like, they were nervous to go in because they could have gotten shot. Yeah, that is literally what you sign up for. Like I have cops in my family, and they know that like your life is on the line,
right.
and when people need you, like that's why you're there. Like
right.
the Marines don't hold back. Like, well, we don't want to get shot. We're not going to war.
Right.
Like this is your moment. That's why you have the rifles. That's why you have shotguns and vests.
And it gives a really bad name to the people who are, I don't know. It's all. I was gonna say there was I was gonna say. Oh, I saw a video of a school. I forget where it was, and the teachers had guns in their backpack, and I was like, I mean,
that's not the answer.
Not right, because there's gonna be some 60-year-old woman that can't shoot well, or you know what I mean, or a man that can't shoot well.
Listen,
or whatever.
we've been,
like, how is that the?
This country makes more and more guns every year, and it has been for 50 years. And things are not getting better.
That chart that I showed you.
Yeah, show Heidi that.
But there's also the case in Scotland and in
of course.
Australia where it happened, and they made a law, and there hasn't been one mass shooting since.
Look at the statistic here. So this is gun ownership statistics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Per 100 people for these areas, the United States is number one by look at how much. Then next is Yemen, Montenegro, Serbia, Canada, believe it or not, Uruguay, Cyprus, Finland, Lebanon, Iceland,
that's shocking.
Bosnia, Austria, former Republic of Macedonia,
Can you explain the numbers to the listeners?
Norway, Malta, Switzerland, Kosovo, New Zealand, Sweden, Pakistan.
Is
the lowest on that list
my God.
of guns per capita per 100 people. The numbers are like U.S. is 120.5. The next one, which is Yemen, is 52.8. So it's
what is that? It's people who own guns?
Gun ownership.
There's 380 million people in the U.S. and there's 400 million guns.
Yeah.
And I saw someone put a tweet out, and I had to research it myself because it sounded like it has to be bullshit. There's been 288
88
mass shootings in the U.S. this year.
Wait, 288 mass
288 mass shootings. So multiple
this
people
year.
shot at
multiple
one time.
people at one time.
For
is what
just
that-
these few months.
More than one
since
person.
2022.
In 6 months. We're 5 months in. There's been 288 mass shootings in America.
It's classified
put
as a
that up.
mass
It's-
shooting if there's
it's
more than one.
So guess how many the next closest country has? We have 288. What's the next closest country to have?
I mean, like the amount.
How many mass shootings the next closest to us?
0.
8. We have 288
Do you know what
mass
country
shootings.
that is?
Oh, I forget actually.
It doesn't matter.
But also like there's been more children shot in school this year than cops shot on duty.
Yeah, it's safer.
So it's safer to be a cop than it is to be a child going to school. So what do we do?
Well, here's the fucking sad state for me is, obviously I have conversation with my kids, and I could see they're like, oh, that's terrible. What's for dinner?
That's the problem.
That they're used to it. They're just used to this kind of news. That's the world that they live in. Now, are they afraid that that's going to happen? And, are they traumatized because they don't want to go to school or whatever? No, they just, it's what it is. Part of their lives that they hear this on the news all the time. So that's disheartening, and you and I were talking about this earlier. This is actually a whole nother conversation, but it's just the way that the culture is with social media and Instagram and all. It's all part of it. It's all part of why when I was a kid, we got into fights all the time in school. Fights, fist fights, Yep. Kids did bring a gun now to show their friends, whatever. But it was unfathomable that there was going to be someone that was going to strafe the school because they were bullied or this or that. This whole, you're special, the world is, you have a right to this and that in the world. It's all fucking bullshit, and it's ruining children and the way that they're growing up. And that's the part that I think it's like, sure, you can ban guns. You could ban assault rifles. I am a gun owner. Yeah. I'll gladly show up at the bin where we turn them in if they say that's it, all guns off the streets, which is not going to happen.
Never. That will never happen.
Never going to happen.
And maybe nor should it.
Right.
I don't know.
But why do I? The reason why I own guns is because of the fucking people that own guns.
And that's the cycle. That's the problem.
I'm part of that problem.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
I understand it.
But the mentality, first of all, 18 is way too young. Even in the 20s, I said this to you, the minimum age to own a handgun should be 30.
Yeah, your frontal lobe.
25 years old.
How many fucking stupid things did you do in your 20s?
You can't even rent
I
a
mean?
car
25.
until you're 25.
25 to rent a car, 18 to get a fucking gun.
Yeah.
And this Texas shooter, the governor of Texas, Abbott, was so proud to pat himself on the back last year because he changed the law from 21 to 18. This fucking kid bought 2 ARs on his 18th birthday, and I believe a week later killed 19 kids and 2 teachers so far. There's also a bunch of injuries.
And what Todd was saying is that the bully, the kids these days, I was fucking bullied.
Yeah,
I think
course.
we all were at some point.
Yeah,
we bully you every week.
But because
this is special and
because of the way that the world is now with 24-hour news cycles and social
TikTok
media and TikToks and Instagrams and all that, and these versions of fake lives going out, children on the whole do not have the muscle of socialization developed enough to get into, I don't even want to say just scrapes, even good stuff. They can't process it properly because they have no training in dealing with other fucking human beings face to face. And even with my son, say during the pandemic, he's like, I don't care if we never go back to school because I like, gaming and being in, and Zoom's fine. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand what you're not gaining as a human being. Even if you're friendless at school, walking in the hallways with other people your age, and how people walk and the facial expressions they make and the energy and social, you have no skill at that, and you're missing a vital part of it as a teenager
Remember, like,
for 2 years.
Connecting, like looking into a girl's eyes in the hallway when you're
Yeah, that's
like,
over.
Oh, it's like, oh, you don't feel that anymore.
Yeah,
They're
It's just
growing
like,
horns
you're
on
all
the
this.
back of their neck because their
Yeah.
heads are down.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's a big part of it too. It's not just about how do we reform gun reform and let's make the ammunition super expensive so that like you can't afford to shoot people.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's that. There's let's change the age. Let's get the assault rifles off and and all that kind of stuff. But it's also, it's so much fucking deeper than just those things. It's the way that the world is now. It's why I can't walk up to someone and say something without the, I'm triggered, I'm offended. Who gives a fuck? Then walk away from me.
Yeah.
yep.
But no, now you're triggered, and now I got to worry about, because you don't have the fucking skills to handle a human interaction. Yeah. Now I got to worry that you're going to go into fucking
Lose my
Kmart
job or
and fucking strafe the entire fucking store.
That's a good point.
That's what I get more pissed about is it's not just this gun issue. It's the fucking issue at large of the way the world is.
Yep.
So like there's a disconnection between all human beings.
All human
So
beings.
it kind of softens, like if you're angry, I'm just gonna kill a bunch of kids because they're just your avatars. You're shooting avatars. They're not real. It's not human flesh and blood. There's no connection to society, so you don't care about kids. But like we can start by doing something.
Right, but
like,
even the
what we're doing is not
motivations
working.
are skewed because like I'm a kid now and I'm
Congratulations.
you know, I feel marginalized and I go on Instagram, all the things we've already heard. We're not stating anything new. And this one's doing this and this one's vacationing there and this one's standing next to an airplane and this one and it's all these fabricated things that they're not seeing, the life that they're putting out there. You know what I mean?
It affects
So it's
adults,
like,
but it affects kids even more.
well, it affects kids to the point where they can't understand what they're not seeing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we grew up in an age where, oh, well, I get it. I do it. The pictures I post, I
of
take
course.
30 of them and the best one I put up. You know what I mean?
After you zhuzh it and you know, do it all.
yeah. But we have that skill of understanding, and kids that are
What's
brought
not
up with
real
it
and
don't.
what's not, yeah.
So if you're someone who's marginalized in the first place and you're going online and all these people are doing all these fucking amazing things, it's intensified by like 1,000-fold in in your head of like, what's wrong with me? And I'm going to lash out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because you don't really have that human connection,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything.
I
said
can't
you-
wait to play what you just said for everybody because you put it so beautifully. Because I got like after this happened, I was like, this fucking kids, fucking spoiled. Fucking, are you kidding me? The Buffalo shooter was 18. This guy was 18.
It's not
the guy at what's
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, yeah.
no the oh my god, the one
Oh,
with
Sandy
the,
Hook.
yeah, he was 14,
I don't remember.
15.
Again, Todd was saying like we don't remember the details.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
was saying that
common.
to you earlier. I was like, you can't even remember the name. Like it was Columbine.
Just Columbine.
Columbine,
for years.
Columbine.
Now it's like
now
which
it's
one
like
was
which
the-
one was that? I don't even remember.
Oh
the
yeah,
names of
Pulse
these
nightclub.
fucking
Oh
places.
yeah. Oh yeah, forgot.
Fucking
It's crazy. It's
But
super crazy. Go
But
ahead.
also, this guy here and the guy in Buffalo were online doing things beforehand. Granted, the one in Buffalo, I don't think anybody knew where he was going to, but nobody said anything days beforehand. Hey, this guy is fucked up. You know. Why? I mean, but I
Because
think
people
also
don't
when
care
you,
anymore.
right? And also, if you call and say it, just like I called 911
You
and
do,
I put on
remember that?
hold.
What?
You
Yeah,
care.
I called
Yeah.
it somebody.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
called one of our listeners. I called the FBI one of our listeners once.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
But I mean,
Scared the
it's-
shit out of me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we had a list. I mean, I don't tell the whole story, but we had a listener who, like, I used to have phone sex with on the show. He was a guy. But he was like, well, that's a whole other thing. But eventually, like, he would send me direct messages, and one time he was like asking me about Jessica, our other co-host, and when is she coming back on the show? And then he sent me a picture of a taser, handcuffs, and then he goes, "Look what I just got!" It was an AR-15 on his bed.
What?
And he had some there was something wrong with. He was something wrong with him. And I was like, why do you have that? He goes, I thought it'd be fun to have. Like, I just wanted to.
Was it real?
It was real. he was of age. He was in a state where he could get it. And so I'm sitting with my wife on the couch, and I'm like, will you look at this? This seems weird to me. And I told him, I said, like, you should get rid of that thing. And he blocked me, like right away blocked me, like you got spooked. And then I couldn't look at his profile. So my wife pulled up his profile, and he works at an elementary school. So it just started like red flags for me. And
I remember because I was vacationing somewhere, and you called me.
Yes. Yeah. What should I do?
Yeah.
And you said if you have a gut feeling about it, call.
Yeah.
So I talked the best part. I called the FBI, and they're like, "How do you know this guy?"
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Well, I have a podcast radio show, and he would call in. He'd be like, what would you guys talk about?" I was like, I told him, I'm like, well, I would like have phone sex with him, and the guy was like, "Excuse me?"
Oh my god!
Like, just trust me. It was like a funny thing, and he's like, "Okay," but they looked into it. And I haven't heard from him since, but
they're sitting outside in a van outside of Dan's place right now.
They're listening right now, but I don't know, guys. It just that what we're doing is not working. All of these, I'm fine with people owning guns. All of these shootings are AR-15s. Just get rid of those. Don't even take them away from Americans. Just stop selling now. If you have them now, you're grandfathered in because most of these kids get them. They buy them new. They buy them brand new and go use them. Can we start there?
I didn't know that's what he had it because it said he had a rifle and a handgun.
He did. He had 2 AR-15s and a handgun.
2 AR-15s?
He bought 2. And that's another thing Todd said is like,
2?
When an 18-year-old walks into a gun shop and buys 2 on their birthday, like you can't wait. Like he's rushing to get it. It's his right, but like, how does that not go into a database of like?
And many other countries too. Like, you have to have a one-on-one psychological evaluation before they issue you a firearm in a lot of other countries. And
it takes longer to get a license. It takes longer to figure out how to vote here.
And did you see him? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
well, his looks have to. What do you mean?
Looked a little. I mean, he just looked. I would.
And then Republicans
have a meeting with him.
Republicans also are trying to make it that he's a trans kid, which he's not. They're trying to say no, he's not. But they're spreading this rumor that he's a trans kid that came over the border. He was fucking born in North Dakota. He's an American citizen.
He went to elementary school at that. Yes. Please.
So I mean, I don't know what to do. This one hurts badly.
Did you see too that he was crouched down behind the car?
And the cops went by and they confronted somebody else. They confronted one of the teachers, thought that was the suspect.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And the cops also lied and said that they had engaged the gunman at the beginning, but he was fully armed, full body armor. And later they're like, well, he didn't have full body armor, and we also actually didn't even talk to him.
He just had some
really bad
80s women shoulder pads.
That's it. It's like, that's a trans.
Yeah, they fucked up really bad. So.
If I were these, I don't know how these officers are going to should be scared for a long time of what these parents are going to do. And the sole responsibility is on the gunman. Yes. But I think that the way this is handled, these cops have a little bit of responsibility.
The thing is that think of how the families feel. Sorry.
Yeah,
and then think of how the rest of especially us in this country, I was affected the whole day. I couldn't get out of bed. I was sobbing. Like,
it's impossible. It's impossible to fathom. And it's just like 10 days after the Buffalo one. And
it affects all of us in a certain way. Like,
and then in another month or two, we'll be having the same fucking talk again.
Can I be 100% like real and honest? Yes. The way it affected me is like, this is scary because it's like,
and that's so fucked.
And it is. It's fucked up.
And
that
that's
I'm
how
like,
we are.
Of course, I have children. It's upsetting. All those things for sure.
Yeah.
But my overall is like giving up because it's like it's never gonna get better.
Yep.
It's fucking. The world is the way it is. They're not going to shut down social media. They're not going to shut down. It's just going to get worse and worse. Like, that's what it does. That's how it is fucking me up. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
course. And that's I'm
it's
smart enough.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, like I'm smart enough to see how ironic that is. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like it's making me like kids now, almost like. I can't believe that I have any ambivalence towards this whatsoever, and I do, because it's like fucking figures.
Yep.
This should be the kind of thing where we see that in the news, and like 9/11, glued to the story for days. I cried on Tuesday when it happened. I watched the news for a while, but then at night I also put Netflix on and watched a movie or something. You know what I mean? Like we do just kind of like shuffle past it and then like, oh yeah, that happened. That's fucked.
Look at this fucking school shooting. I wonder if Amber Heard shit on any other beds now lately. Like, you know what I mean?
This
That's
really-
the
it
other
should
thing
be
that
the-
like
And Ray
people
Liotta
are.
died.
Yeah, people.
Ray
I
Liotta
know. I'm
died.
so fucking bummed.
Yeah.
I loved him. Anyway. Yeah, it's just that's the thing that scares me because I see it in my kids too. They're like, "Oh, that's terrible." You know, we having pizza tonight,
right?
You know, and I'm like, "Wow, dude, you got." And there's too much information coming.
Yep.
Of
too fast, some
too
right, some
fast.
wrong.
Yeah, but
you know?
it's just too much.
You know, but some of the stuff that we talked about, the facts that we know about, those might be wrong next week, and if so, we'll correct it. But it's hard to figure out what's going on. But it's awful. It's really, really, really awful. I don't know.
Oh my god, so gross.
That's my segue button. Yeah, we just got to vote, and I know we don't like to get political on the show, but like, where are the pro-lifers at? This is fucking ridiculous. You want to like keep women from having, abortions, but you don't want to protect kids that are in school. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
don't
the
give me this
thing
bullshit.
too.
Don't
This
tell me you're
whole-
pro-life when
yeah.
you'll do nothing. When
Yeah,
guns have more rights than kids have to get an education, we're doing something.
Yeah, I want them to.
incredibly
I
wrong.
want them to be born. I just don't give a shit about them after.
Right, like
That's
George
the
Carlin
whole
said,
thing.
once you're born, you're on your
Yeah,
own.
you're on
Don't
your
give a
own.
fuck.
That was great documentary. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it
No,
yet.
is
The
it
George
good?
Carlin doc.
Watch it.
I turned you onto a documentary.
Yeah.
Which one?
The Gerard Carmichael Rathaniel documentary on HBO.
Oh, I love.
Well, it's not a documentary. It's a comedy special.
Yeah. I love him.
Did you watch that?
I love him.
You gotta watch it. Don't
was-
even say anything about it.
Don't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't expect a normal stand-up comedy routine.
Yeah.
It's like an art
like a
film.
spoken word or like a
Well, it's like-
Something.
one man show or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
It's watching the human experience play out right in front of your fucking face.
That's exactly what it
Yep.
is.
And it makes
powerful.
It makes me love him fucking even more because I always thought this guy's great. You know the
So likable.
yeah.
Yep,
And I'm
good
like,
vibe.
wow, this is just the fucking the balls.
Yeah.
Which is something this fucking world needs.
Yep. He rules. Rathaniel on HBO Max by Gerard Carmichael. Watch Our Father and
Love on the Spectrum.
Love on
I've
the
been,
Spectrum, new season, which I haven't started yet. It's an
my
American
God.
season. Have you watched the show ever? It's incredible.
Where was it before?
Australia. You couldn't tell it by the accent?
I didn't watch. I only watched like a little.
Yeah, if you watch for
whatever.
8 seconds, you can tell it's from Australia.
Love on the spectrum, mate.
What is this, Jersey?
Well, I mean, I'm so good with.
You are pretty good at the accents.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else? Heidi, what should people do if they're watching this on YouTube right now?
Get something to eat. I don't know.
That's right. If you're watching, get something to eat. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back next week. Love you all, and tomorrow is just the future's yesterday.
Oh my god.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.